Hi to you! I am the one behind this vlog thing, and I am very much into photography, as you probably noticed. Maybe you didn't, because it doesn't really show, or hasn't really shown so far. Anyways, when I started with photography, it was back in the film days, because I'm old. Really old. I'm not really old. It was in like high school, I guess, and we had a class about photography, and we got to learn like aperture and shutter speeds and ISO, and it was on old film cameras, like 35mm film cameras without autofocus, mind you. And then after that, I didn't do it because it sucks to have your own like development lab thing where you make the film strip into real photos. Let's say 2 years ago or something, I started looking at photography again. I've always been like into it with my like phone. I walked around with my phone and took pictures and added filters, and I knew that I was better than most, because most people that just use their phone fucking suck at it, or they are very bad at it, or they don't try, you know? What I wanted to do was to like develop this talent, I guess, and it wasn't, you know, there was no clear in for me with it. I had a camera at work, this one to be extremely specific. I used it to take pictures of products, but that really sucked because it was a hassle to make them look good in Photoshop, and my Photoshop skills were limited, and Photoshop was limited because it was like still very crude software. But after a while I got the phone and I started taking pictures with it, and I realized I was better than most, but it never really went anywhere. I started a podcast about, you know, training, CrossFit, whatever, and we was completely like only joking around and having fun with it. But I started noticing this thing with pictures again, because I had to make like every episode needed like a frame. That's when I got back into it again a little bit, and we started making small YouTube clips. You should check it out, we'll link to it. And, you know, just with a regular old cheap camcorder, I had so much fun editing those videos and just putting them together, even though it was like deliberately cheesy production. Like I did my best to make it look really crappy. I know it sounds weird, but I love that crap. It also takes down like the anticipation level. I don't have anything to really live up to except for like the fun of the content, not any specific like looks or whatever. It was just like straight out of camera, cut, put it up there, no problem. And it was a lot of fun. But like, let's say a year ago, a little more, I got in contact with a guy that's really good at filming and really good at photography, and he was like, sure, I'll help you out and record some episodes, because we got some really like cool ones coming up. And I saw him in action when he was recording us and taking a picture of us, and I was super like inspired. And it's like, how much is that camera? It's not that much. Maybe I can save up. I'm like, do I have a camera? Yeah, I do. This is actually a camera. I only saw it as like a torture device, but it's actually like a camera. So I was like, all right, let's start doing this. And I did all the mistakes. I was like shooting in JPEG, and I was I didn't even think about switching to a better lens on it, and I was editing it in an extremely crappy version of Photoshop, and it just looked horrible. Everything looked horrible about it. I was using manual focus. Like, don't do that unless you're really good. You can learn it, it's a nice skill to have, but it makes everything so much more difficult, and every like nice photo moment that comes up, you're gonna miss it probably because you don't have time. Like autofocus these days in cameras are awesome. Even in this one, and this is a little bit what I wanted to talk about, I got into it with this one, or one of my cameras that was like an old point and shoot kind of thing that did not have any special features either, but like it was just, it came out. The picture I wanted, I could see it on screen or through the viewfinder, and it came out, and it was like, this is so much fun. But it was really crappy. Like all the pictures I put up, you can look at it. They're up on my Instagram from like a year ago or a little more. Yeah, let's say 15 months ago or something like that. You can see them there, and there's like, I was so proud of them because it was like in focus, or I got some colors right, or whatever. It was shit. Like it was really bad, but I didn't let that stop me. I had like, I'm gonna learn this. I'm gonna learn how to do this. 3 or 4 months later, I had my first photo job. I'm not kidding. I just got into it all the way in. I trusted my talent. I did not let failures or like what obstacles stopped me. My first professional camera was actually the camera I'm recording this through now, and it's awesome. It's a Sony a6 300. If you find one, if you're looking for cameras and you're gonna go into it and you have something crappy lying around but you want to upgrade a little bit, get something like that. The A6000, I guess, the A6000, I don't know how to say that one, or the A6 300, or the follower up to that. Get any one of those. I think 6400, I don't know. Like, get any of those cameras, because they are so much camera and such a small format for such a low price tag. I don't think there's anything better out there for that price tag right now. You can get it for insert some, because everybody's looking at it from different countries and none of you really have the same currency and the cameras are sold for differently. Whatever. In dollars, you can definitely get an A6 300 with auto lens for like $700. No problem. I think so, at least on eBay. And you like, okay, that's a lot of money, but it's not that much money for what you get when it comes to these kind of cameras. It can record 4K, 120 frames per second slow motion, which is awesome, and it can take professional pictures, no problem. If you just get you can take it with a kit lens, but if you get a cheap Sigma bucket thing lens that is prime, that means you can't zoom with it, you have a professional camera. I have better cameras now. I have a Canon 5D something. It's not even new, but it's slightly better. But I'm not sure I've taken better picture with that than I've taken with my Sony. It just lets in more light. It's a full frame camera. It has some more robust features. The Sony is pretty small and so on, but it's not that much better. I didn't buy it new, because if I would have bought it new, it would never have been worth the upgrade. So that's how good a Sony is. I could even take professional pictures with this. The Canon 1000D, I've kind of modified a little bit. It says 1D now, because I wanted it to be more, expensive. But anyways, I could do that. I took off the kit lens for this. Wait, I'm gonna get it. This is the kit lens that comes with a Canon 1000D. This camera is 10 years old. It was launched 10 years ago. It has a 10 megapixel sensor in it. It's nothing these days, but it's good enough. It's bigger than most screens could ever show in full resolution or whatever it's called. This lens costs virtually nothing. I think it costs $150 or something. And with this lens, this is the Canon 50mm 1.8 STM23, whatever it's called. It's a prime lens that can't zoom. It's for 50mm. On this camera, it will be awesome for portraits and some level of street photography, I guess. With this camera, you will get for free or very close to it, or find in someone's wardrobe. And this lens, which you must be able to afford, otherwise your life is not good, then you can do so much with photography. Even if you get the awful kit lens, you can do some damage. You don't need that much. And I like taking pictures with this camera. It has very bad low light capabilities. It has I don't even think it shoots 1 frame per second when you shoot in raw file format. But it has something special, the way the pictures come out. It's nice. I don't know, the colors or some Canon color science. I don't know what it is. I love it. This thing weighs probably 800 grams with this 50mm lens. Nothing. If you leave it outside, the wind will take it. When I came running with this thing, I'm holding 1.5 kilos in my hands. This is a lot of work. It is awesome. This is a Sigma something lens, whatever. It's nothing special, but it gets the job and it gets very sharp pictures. It has features, who cares? It's very heavy compared to that one, and you can question how much better the pictures actually is. The main difference shows in low light, I'd say. Because a full frame sensor versus an old crop sensor is just no contest. This will take brighter pictures. It will handle higher ISOs. It has way higher ISOs and so on. But in good lighting conditions, I don't think you could tell which camera took which picture, to be honest. It's pretty sick, but that's the way it is. This has more features, blah blah blah, and dual card slots and all that shit. But this camera is good enough to do whatever you want. So never get that like, I don't want to start seriously because I can't afford proper gear. Like everybody will laugh at my pictures because of how crappy my camera is. No. One of the best pictures I've ever taken is with this one. And arguably some of my best pictures I've been taken with an iPhone 4. That's bad. Like, and it was dark, you know. It's about the picture, you know, and how well you can handle your gear. I know it's like cheesy to say, but that's the way it is. Now this makes it easier, and it's a lot of fun, but you don't need it. Yeah, I know. I did some post-processing on those pictures, but like it's not that much. It's very, very minor post-processing done on it, and I couldn't tell if I hadn't known which picture was taken with what camera of those. There's no way I could tell the difference between those. I mean, there's always some like super duper professional ultra nerd photographer that can say like, nah, your pixel density and your color dynamic range contrast mumbo jumbo is a little off, but right, nah, there's no way you can tell. So just have fun.